Jim Jones was one of the members of Dipset that 50 Cent was able to have a positive relationship with during the DVD era when he and Cameron were at odds. Now, it was well known that Cameron and Jim Jones weren't on the same page at the time of the beef between Cameron and 50 Cent. Jim Jones claims that he understood the feud with 50 Cent wasn't serious and would never turn into a street fight, even though he is one of Cameron's most devoted day one homies who helped put the group on the map. Now, you might have witnessed 50 Cent's live performance in New York where he brought out Jim Jones and Joel Santana. Or perhaps you saw Jim Jones and 50 Cent do the entire 50 Cent and Cameron feud on Rap City. It appears that 50 Cent and Jim Jones developed a love-hate relationship throughout the years, even though they were getting along. Jim Jones and 50 Cent are currently making nasty remarks about each other on Instagram. "Damn, Jimmy, why do you look so dirty?" is the description for a video that 50 Cent posted of Jim Jones in Miami. "What on earth is happening? You're from Harlem, gather yourself." However, that wouldn't be the only instance of 50 Cent seeing Jim Jones on Instagram. A video of Jim Jones lifting weights was uploaded by 50 Cent. Additionally, 50 Cent captions the image, "You go, girl. Come on, sis. Funny. Jimmy, get the out of here. You are a punk. Get this crap." Jim Jones now takes the IG and fires bullets at 50 Cent, sharing a photo of 50 Cent ridiculing his attire and writing, "They made my boy look awful. This is what I suggest. I would get a new hairdresser for you." Now, Jim Jones would utilize that identical image of 50 Cent and place it next to a bottle of Bailey's, stating that's how 50 Cent's attire looks. Jimmy even called 50 Cent out for the fade on Instagram, writing, "Tell 50 Cent that we can shoot the fair one whenever he's ready. We could do it on Southside or 42nd Street." Even though Jim Jones and 50 Cent's Instagram banter was lighthearted, there were occasions when they posted things that appeared to be going too far. Even though many of the things these two were saying about one another might have been considered symbolic disrespect, nobody took offense until 50 Cent claimed that Jim Jones was on a wiretap and that he should supervise 69 and the entire Treyway federal case. Now, individual one, you're going to have to tell everybody how you were on tape and caught on a phone coaching Male, the super duper violate Shorty, but the feds never picked you up because you were doing your job. You're a confidential source. It appears that all the fun and games between 50 Cent and Jim Jones have stopped since he posted this post. Joking it stopped and things appear to take a slight turn for the worse. Jim Jones has now retaliated against 50 Cent by sharing a photo of Mel's murder along with the statement, "Melly said he's doing super fine." You need to keep an eye out for these real social people who want to see the real guys in jail and are cheering for the rats to return home. Any ninja who attempts to damage another man's reputation for their own benefit must be a hoe. Why else would he have me so far down his throat? Hold on. Now, the nice little feud between Jim Jones and 50 Cent came to an end after Jim Jones posted the caption beneath the photo. Understand what I mean? Now, tell me in the comments if you think 50 Cent went too far in calling Jim Jones an informant. You get what I'm saying? For example, if you're from the streets, you don't play with people's names like that. When you're from the streets, you don't accuse anyone of being a snitch because you're going too far now. You're playing with their name. Tell me what you all think. Recently, 50 Cent appeared on the Cron podcast. Cameron and Flea would essentially ask 50 Cent how he managed to convince Joel Santana and Jim Jones to perform with him amid their feud.
Dipset to come to your show. How'd it go?
If you're unaware, Dipset also experienced internal problems at the same time as 50 Cent and Kim. Additionally, Joel and Jim wouldn't agree because Jim would be featured on a Rhapsody episode with 50 Cent and Killer. Additionally, he will join Joel Santana on stage with 50. When Jim asked me to go to a show, I want to be there for my brother, especially if he's going with some engineers. Now, 50 Cent essentially admits that he took a risk. He complimented Jim Jones, stating he was superior to Kim and the best at Dipset. As you may know, he eventually persuaded people to get in touch with Jim Jones, and Jim Jones
see, because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. We want you at this show, Jimmy.
Uncle Murderer, Tony Yayo, and 50 Cent were present at this interview after 50 Cent described how he persuaded Jim Jones to perform. When Uncle Murderer inquired about Cameron's feelings over his performance with 50, Cameron said that he thought it was over. To be honest, even though Dipset had internal issues, I believe that Jim Jones' decision to play with 50 and Joel Santana may have seriously damaged the band because following the entire meltdown, it felt like nothing had ever been the same between Dipset and Joel Santana. Additionally, it appears to be more business related when Cameron collaborates with Jim Jones, Joel Santana, and Dipset. You could tell it's more about getting a bag than anything else. Even if he's fine with them and you know he's repping with them, go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Do you think this was a business decision? Or do you think Jim Jones and Jay Wells were being disloyal? Since Jim Jones was attempting to maintain the momentum and had the hottest record at the time, he was balling. Tell me how you all feel. Do you think Jim Jones is being disloyal? Before Cam and Jay-Z made amends, he did sign with Roc Nation. Tell me in the space provided for comments. Recently, 50 Cent appeared on the Cameron podcast to speak with Flea. Cameron also had the opportunity to question 50 Cent about how he managed to recruit Dipset members to join him on stage. Additionally, he discusses a scenario in which 50 Cent invited Jim Jones and Jay Wells to appear at his performance.
For Dipset to come to your show.
Now, 50 Cent essentially admits that he took a risk. He complimented Jim Jones, saying that he was superior to Cam and the best at Dipset. As you may know, he eventually persuaded people to get in touch with Jim Jones, and Jim Jones succeeded.
Because I wasn't sure he was gonna go for it. I was like, we like Jimmy better than you anyway, Cam. We want you at the show.
In fact, both parties were questioned about this in earlier interviews, and they both gave an explanation of how they saw the events unfold. In a Vlad TV interview, Joel shared his point of view. He said, Jim is going to a show and he asked me to go, especially if it's with some people who are some engineers going to support my brother. Additionally, 50 Cent will go on Cameron's podcast and provide his viewpoint. In an interview that was released today on the Respectfully podcast, Jim Jones was essentially asked about Cameron's status as 50 Cent and how he persuaded him to play at his performance. In response, Jim Jones essentially said, "They be on my dick, right? They have nothing else to think about, although Capo made a significant contribution to their lives. Jim Jones would continue by saying that they had nothing better to do than talk about them, and he really helped them both a lot. Capo continues by saying that he had to act in his own best interests at that specific time because Cameron wasn't truly backing and assisting him. Go ahead and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Jim Jones removed his gloves. He was going at 50 and it looked like he was going at Kim. You know, there was a minor falling out between 50 and Jim Jones a few years ago. They used to exchange pleasantries, but when certain accusations and phrases were made, things became more serious. Thus, things became somewhat serious. I am aware that Jim Jones hasn't moved on from that. Additionally, he had a minor incident with Cameron. He's not really on the same page. You know, he's on his bully. Anyway, share your thoughts with me. Enter my comment section. Additionally, please tell a friend about my page if you enjoy these vintage hip-hop tales. Make sure you hit the notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe.